we're going to do the mask tool, and voila, there I am, masked out of the background. Again, is my hair perfect and everything? No, it's not perfect. In fact, I look like I have a chatterhead. So what I can do, here's the trick to help mask you out, is select the background mask layer, and then we're going to use the brush tool. The brush tool is complex. There's a lot to it. And what you want to do is when you select the brush tool, you want to go up here to the brush preset control. Make sure your brush is round generally and that the hardness is adjusted. And those settings are okay, but what you really need is the brush panel, and go to Window and then Brush and Brushes to make sure you've got a regular brush selected. But what you want are the brush settings, and brush settings is right here. Now the brush settings panel, let me move this up so you can see it. Brush settings here. You want to make sure the spacing is at 1%. You can adjust how hard the edge of the brush is and the size of it as well. You do not want shape dynamics because that'll act weird and it's hard to understand. And the only thing you really need is smoothing. Now, you can see that the background is black and my outline is white. So I need to use a brush color that is black and white. To do this, to swap the colors, you simply hit X. You can hover over this tiny little left arrow, down arrow, and that will show you that X will switch the background colors. And then to get the default color of black and white, you hit the D key, D for dog. And so if I use the white, what I can do is start brushing in my hair and kind of fix this up, but you can see the background's coming through. Oh no, I made a mistake. You can go to the undo tool here, or the undo menu item, but instead, to be more efficient, what I would do is hit the X key to swap black and white as the background. And now I can brush off my erroneous selection and do some experimentation. Again, the X shortcut key cannot be found in the menu. It can only be found in the toolbar here. Now, the edge of my brush is a little too soft, so I'm going to sharpen up the edge quite a bit. And I'm just going to start brushing over just so my hair looks smooth. Oh, looks like I got some weird growth out of my head. I will hit X to switch background black and white. And I will simply cut this growth off my head. That's pretty weird. Ooh, I've got another growth. I'm going to hit X again. And the goal is to round my head so it looks natural. Now, if you're looking for the perfect hair and everything, you've definitely come to the wrong place. Because cutting out hair perfectly in backgrounds, I'll hit X again, is very challenging in Photoshop. And there we go. That is totally realistic. So if I put myself, click on the brush settings to make it go away. So if I put myself on a new fill layer of solid white, type in white, and when the color picker comes up, just choose white, and you'll see that I disappeared. That's because, remember, the layer stack up has changed. Simply click into the nothing space here, drag down, and you can see I'm cut out. Now you can see my hair is a little bit jaggy, but if I zoom out in a thumbnail size, can you tell at all? No, absolutely not. And that's really all you need to do. I would recommend another tutorial or some other class in Photoshop if you really want to go crazy. But the goal of this particular class is to be efficient and get the job done, so you do not have to worry about being hairline perfect. Also, if you still have trouble with the background, here's another trick. If you double click on this layer over here in the blank spot, we'll bring up the effects window. Remember the effects window? If you go to drop shadow here and turn on drop shadow. Click drop shadow. See where it says normal? Normal's what you want, but a white drop shadow isn't going to help me. So what I do is I click the white and I drag this slider here down to black. And now I can see my drop shadow. Now, obviously, I've got some weird growth out of my head there. Oh, that's not going to work too well. I don't know. I'm struggling here. What do we do? There we go. Just kind of cut that out a little bit, and that gets the weird growth out of my head. Double click on the FX to go back into the effects window. Go back to drop shadow, not just checking it, but selecting it. And what you want to do is just change the spread just a little bit, just so you have a little bit of outline, and you can turn off preview to see what kind of effects you've got going, and that will help you out. That way you can kind of hide a little bit of a bad haircut without too much trouble. Hopefully those two examples give you an idea of how to cut yourself out of the background using not the lasso tool, but the object selection and quick selection tool, the masking tool, the brush tool right here, and that way you can brush yourself in and out of the background and get a nice cutout so you can add yourself to your thumbnails.